Hunt A. Welcome to Navajo Sage Weaver Tarot's channel. This reading is for my Tauruses. If you resonate with the Earth sign Taurus, or you are dealing with the attribute of Taurus, or you are seeing somebody who is going through this, who's a Taurus. So, just want to say, I'm going to shake the gourd and thank all everybody that like and subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it, and many blessings to you. And just want to shake the rattle to clear the energy and see what storyline we have here for Taurus. Shake the gourds and to move the energy. Sorry about the background. Okay, so Taurus, so what, I've already pre-shuffled and laid out your story and kind of meditated on it and seen what the message here is for Taurus. And I see that here we have somebody who is in this aspect of maybe seeking some sort of forgiveness, or asking some sort of higher, right? Um, that maybe Taurus had, gone through um, at this moment here, when that happens, when forgiving yourself, Taurus, and when seeing your true being as, as you see yourself, however you experience your journey here on this earth. There's this tower moment of having change, and then after that, going through that, you see this magician coming out of you, you know, and then moving on, like you have this, you know, image or the silhouette of this person who's kind of just relaxing, reflecting, and in uh, the shadows, right? Because we come out of the shadows, sometimes sitting outside and reflecting on that, and, you know, thinking, maybe there was, some emotions that, brought up from within, right? Inner child here. And then going through that, um, tower moment and making, the magician come out, you created and nourished the Eight of Pentacles here. So something's growing here for Taurus. And then here you have the world, trying to figure out and see, like here's a painting of, what, you know, every Taurus is, everybody has a different perspective of like what their world is. And then coming out of it in the Nine of Cups, you know, allowing yourself to feel free from this tower moment here, like the lightning coming through. And then becoming that King of Wands here, learning how to control what this, that emotion was, right? How to control that character. Maybe, you know, during that time there was a reflection of like seeing the inner child of who Taurus was, being enlightened, you know, here. Once you had that moment, this was letting go, you know, you had that enlightened moment, and it, you know, balanced you in a way, gave you some justice, whether it was through, your heart and finances, even though, all these things, these 10 of swords coming at you, maybe hurt you in different ways, they're all over the face, the inner self, you know, close to the mouth, you're near your heart, your throat chakra, on top of your head, having that connection with the spiritual being, the back of your mind, what aspect are those, the frontier, you know, the ear, so these, probably attack on self sometimes, we do that. And then we learn how to let go and forgive. And it gives us our different aspect of our world, which is here is the Empress, and, now, being that magician and learning how to maneuver through that energy, right? Whatever it is for you at that time, Taurus, and carrying that throne here and creating it, like seeing a vision of what you want out of your life, reflecting of why this was a struggle to go through, why it was so much for you to, you know, keep it growing and make, sunflowers, you know, and being protective of it, right? Making yourself question, or, think about it, in ways, have conversation, interaction. What direction does this need to happen, Maybe sneaking, you know, sneaking in the night, trying to find answers for this, like where is the night for you, Is it, going downstairs? Is it going, walking around your house, like how do you walk around your home, to make sure that everything's safe, Sometimes like that, or just you're that type of person, Taurus, who when maybe like working at night is better for you, you find more answers. And then when you do that, understanding where these arrows, are for you, like it helps you in a way that you become that Queen of Wands, you know, learning about the night, the Hierophant, going in solitude, allowing yourself to feel that wisdom here, and, you know, gaining that, you know, King of Swords here, you know, carrying, being carried by spirit, allowing yourself to grow and understand this and how it will, help you in your journey of life, how you grow as a person, coming from this child to, you know, to adult and to elder, and then having the death, those moments of like, when you have to, you know, be in this space here sometimes looking through the dark, questioning yourself, being able to make yourself a magician so that way, you can transfer those energy for yourself to be able to, you know, connect with your inner being and learn how to water it in a way and have your own perception of what your world looks like, and feeling really celebratory about it, happy, finding that wisdom in it and then sharing it, So I'm gonna pull a couple of archetypes and see what Taurus is dealing with, or maybe this is your archetype, how it, maybe however the storyline goes with you, fit these archetypes into your storyline. Pull more. Okay, we have the gambler, the light attribute, willing to follow intuition even when others doubt you. Shadow attribute, relying on luck rather than hard work. So, Either we are that attribute or we are dealing with somebody in that attribute, or, you know, that's an attribute maybe we see in the storyline. And then we have visionary, the light attribute, the capacity to envision what is not yet conceivable to others, willing to proclaim a vision without regarding for personal gain. And then the shadow attribute, selling insights to the higher bidder, composing your wisdom to make it more acceptable. So either this is the attribute you're carrying or dealing with, and those shadow aspects there. And then we'll see what the fairies are, you know, um, bringing in. This is the name of the deck, and I'm gonna be working with it. So I'm gonna we're gonna see what they have to say. All right. Well, have a lot to say. So, maybe this here, learning how to forgive is within our inner child, and then sometimes our characteristics, can come in a way that, are curious. And here, we have this fairy, and I'm learning how to pronounce these, Bo Darsuis, Bo Darse fairy. And so, you know, to me, this fairy is coming in, not in a way that it's like ready to jump into something, but, with this right here having this gambler and vision attribute, whether it's the negative and positive, maybe they're intertwined in some way, coming in that way of like, seeing within yourself, sometimes our inner selves are like our creatures, and then you have this fairy like lighting up, like the magician, you know, and feeling that wisdom and saying, like telling this inner, you know, characteristic saying, hey, it's okay, and, like this fairy here, telling you, like, shows this energy of like, maybe I'll come in, right? But I'm still, feeling this energy of like, suspicion, in some way because I'm still healing from whatever this inner, reflection was, and then the outcome of it, here is, this energy of like, sticking your tongue out and saying, calming that inner being here, right? The one that has curious, the one, you know, that, can help, you know, bring that characteristics to be able to, be tamed in some way. So that's what I have for you, and see what the tea leaves have. We have handshake, a meeting with a stranger could be important to you, you know, and then we have the axe, force working against you, and then we have the will, and indecisiveness allows your life to ramble, aimlessly. And let's do one more. We have the barrow. You feel something is lacked in your life, perhaps love, money, or goals. So maybe those messages apply to you in some way. I'm gonna pull some cards, see what other messages Spirit wants us to hear. And so we have the idol course of action. So maybe we needed, you know, change some action in our life to move some paths so we can experience new possibilities and then be true to our heart, you know. So, all right, Taurus, I just want to say thank you for allowing me to do your reading, and I appreciate it. And I just want to say, Hoja nahas clean, Hoja nahas clean, Hoja nahas clean, Hoja nahas clean.